Hi everyone, we're on chapter 27 this week. It's on page 148 and we're doing the circle. We're talking about the circle this week. So you will need to have your mathematical set with you this week in order to draw circles. So just to make sure that you have that, I'll write it into the introductory note, but anyway, just so you have it. So here we go. We're just looking at the parts of the circle first to begin with. So the center obviously is the midpoint in the middle of a circle. The diameter is the whole way across it. So a line that goes the whole way across. The radius is any line that comes from the center of the circle out to the circumference. So the circumference is almost like the perimeter of the circle, the outside line of the circle, okay? It says here, it has a little bit of information. It says the plural of radius is radii. Radii is how you pronounce it. And here is where, almost if you look at a circle like a cake, for instance, the arc is part of the circumference. So the outside part of a slice of cake would be called the arc, let's say. The sector is the section of the circle made by the arc and the two radii. So almost that's, I suppose, there's an angle there, and it's a sector. All right, a sector of the circle. So it's a bit like a slice of cake. Think of it like a slice of cake. All right. The sector is a section of the circle made by an arc and two radii. Okay. A quadrant is a quarter of a circle. So these are just important vocabulary around the circle. Okay. So this question here, question 1, is just which part of the circle does each of the following sentences describe? So you just have to work out which one. Any straight line from the center to the circumference, that's the radius. A slice of the circle between two radii, that's the sector. Okay, I'm not going to give you the rest of it. You can work that out yourselves. And then number 2 then is true or false. You have to work that out yourself. So like for instance, a diameter is a line of symmetry. Yes, it would be really. It's cutting across. It's always going through the center. So a diameter would. Okay, so you do that yourselves. Use your protractor to measure each angle made by this sector. Okay, so you have your protractors. You've used those before when you were doing when you were doing your angles. All right. So hold on a second now and I'll just get this out. Excuse me. Now, so here's your protractor. Mine just happens to be in plastic. So remember what to do. You put your center point in the middle and you line up one of the lines, the bottom line, with one of the lines of the radius of the sector. Okay, and then so this one is always consider the baseline as at 0. So this one is at 0. Okay, and then this one is going all the way over here to 120. So that's 120 is the measurement of that angle. You do all of those. Whatever, it doesn't make a difference which line you choose as your baseline, just as long as you start from 0 then at that baseline, or 0 from that baseline, and work back. Okay, so you measure those angles for me. And then which sector is also a quadrant? So you have to decide which one of them is a quadrant. What would the degrees of a quadrant be? If 360 makes the whole way around, so a quadrant would be a 90-degree angle, okay? So what are two quadrants that are joined together called? Okay, that's called, do you know what it is? It would be a straight angle, okay? And then the abbreviation of the word radius is R. Okay, you can do the challenge there as well if you'd like. Okay, Slán.